And we're back here with Tao Yang and Fernando Rolnik for the part 3 of the Azure Monitoring. We're going to talk about the workbooks and self-help alerts. And Tao, all yours. Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Fernando. Hi, George. Thanks for having me again. So a workbook is really just a dashboard. It's going to so if we compare to the back in the like before Azure Monitor was introduced, you go to in a log analytics, you can have those something called view designer. You can really drag and drop create. I don't have anything in this one, but if I go to a very old workspace I've been using since day one. So this is the old interface where you can create your a dashboard within your log analytics workspace. But right now, if you go into here, you see this workbook is replacing View Designer. So Microsoft has already announced the end date for the View Designer, so giving people some time to migrate their workbooks. Their dashboards from here to Azure Monitor workbooks. So if I go to Azure Monitor.
And Tao, Azure Monitoring dashboard, the workbooks, they are more advanced. I think you can now create a whole solution, like a whole dashboard with that HTML and everything.
The authoring experience, I have to say, is a lot better in using workbooks, and also you're not only limiting data in log analytics. You can create have data in from other data sources as well.
Yep.
So once you go into here, you see there are already some built-in default workbooks here. For example, performance for your virtual machines. Let me just expand that. Yeah. There's some interactive. This is a rather simple one, but you can also create your own. But if you want to get started, just see what you can do with the capabilities. Check out the existing ones first, and then start creating your own. But under the hood, a workbook is really just a JSON file, so you can export it and then share that out to other people. So I've created one just before this demo. If I want to go edit, so I kind of like sections. I created one. The first section, just have a title. The good thing about this one is that it actually supports Markdown for everyone, doing DevOps or developers, working with Git repos nowadays. You probably already very familiar with Markdown, so I can do sample workbook and then do a level 2 heading, say created by Tao Yang, and then go down editing. Then I have a heading 1, heading 2, and I have this particular I have this particular section here. It's got some matrix dashboards. So let me just add another one. Go add a matrix. I can go SQL, for example. SQL database. I can handpick the SQL databases I want to include. I pick the time range and the visual different charts, and then I can add matrix. And because it's a test database, I probably don't have anything, but that's how you do it. Just go down and down editing, and it's there. So I've added a few. There's a VM metrics, the disk queue length and the CPU percentage. And also what we can do here, I've also got this one. This is from a log analytics query. So if you have a look at here, basically I'm doing the heartbeat for, and then I'll get summarized by the computer. So I only get one instance for each computer. And then project keyword, this keyword means I only want to show this following 5 columns. So project computer, time generated computer IP, this 5 columns. So basically this one gives me a list of active computers over the last 24 hours who has sent data to my workspace, and here's the list of computers. So a very simple log analytics query. You can see I've got it here. The other thing is that for example, heartbeat, if I remove this and run it, you see that I get a lot more columns. And some interesting data here is that you see the remote IP, longitude, latitude, and country. So that gives you the location based on your IP address. So what I've done is that I create another visual using this query. Sorry, these fields. Again, very similar query, getting the heartbeat computer, but only I want to get the longitude and the altitude on that. And then with the visualization, I've chosen the map as the visual, and in the map settings, I've selected, say, location info. The latitude is the remote IP latitude field, and the longitude is the longitude field, and then size by the computer and all that. So fill that in, and then that gives me a map visual, like the map of the world, and there is a one dot where my computers are. Obviously, because this is a test environment, I've only got 3 computers here. So they are all based in Australia East region, so Sydney, and you see a dot in here, like pin on Sydney. But imagine in a large environment, you have if you use multiple Azure regions, you can see where the other computers are connecting to your centralized workspace. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so flexible that you don't even need Power BI anymore.
Yes, Power BI has got a similar visual. I've used it before for the maps, but you can do all this within the in the workbook already. So I don't see why. I think this is already very very mature, good enough for most of the use cases.
And we can publish these on the dashboard of the Azure portal as well.
Yes, you can publish this. You can RBAC and then give people access to access your dashboards, and you can share that with other people as well. So you can do that, all that.
Yeah, if you don't know, the Azure portal itself, for people that watching that have no idea, but the Azure portal itself, they have this dashboard. You probably can open that, and then where you can publish metrics, and you can publish workbooks, and you can share those things. And I'm pretty sure that you can share the workbooks as well. But that's become very powerful, and you can even do as code.
Yeah, so you can export it to template, and basically it's just a massive JSON file, but it's embedded in here.
So if you can export to the ARM template, the automation is easy. You can try first on the clip ops way, and you can get this ARM template to use in your further automation.
Yeah, I've already done that in a customer in the past. So getting this and then wrap that into ARM template and deploy that into parameterize it and deploy that into a app teams environment for them to consume.
Yeah, that's a good thing to explain people how the customers use that. Let's say inside big customers, we have multiple different environments.
Yep.
And each is like team, or if or department inside the company, they want to manage that as an independent, and they create their own like workbooks and dashboards.
Yep.
And every time that we, bootstrap like a new department, we pretty much create a new workspace, new workbooks and new dashboards where they can share only inside that specific department, not for the whole company.
Yeah, so this can be potentially, once you build enough of this, you can create a library of all the workbooks. They're just JSON files, and then they can be your offering to your customers, right? And then you can really easily deploy that to your customer's environment by parameterizing the whatever the fields is required in ARM template. And
that's true. There's a lot of Microsoft partners, even MCS.
Yeah.
When we do the consulting with the customers, we have this package with all these dashboards where they can reuse.
Yep.
There's a lot of things published as open source as well.
Yep. Yeah. So if you say right now, if you say I want to do some dashboarding in Azure for Azure monitoring dashboards, the first place I want you to check, I'd recommend you to check is the Azure Monitor Workbook. I think it's really, really mature enough. If you compare with Power BI, so Power BI, you can connect that to a log analytics workspace to query data that way. But I don't know if it's still the case, but the last time I tried it, it's not real time. It's based on a scheduled refresh. And so you can only do like say, I think it's maximum 4 refresh a day. So you can potentially the data you see in your Power BI dashboard can be a few hours late. And also there are other third-party products out there. For example, I'm a good friend of the guys at SquareUp from UK. They do some. They have a dashboarding products for Azure Monitor as well. So, but this is native. If this, I think this probably suit most of your requirements, and this probably should be your first place to check.
Can you show me some out of the box one on building dashboards there? If you go back for the workbooks here, you can even play with those now. I think is a good start for someone that.
That's right.
They can just go for those ones. You can even save and for yourself.
Yeah.
See,
so
that's
for example, this is a map one, and you can still edit it, right? Although I didn't create this one, and you can see how this is created, and it gives you a lot of idea to design your own dashboards.
Yeah, that's a good way to start. I would recommend to go to the building ones and see how it can improve. And
yeah, I don't have any web apps running here.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the self-help, what do you want to show on the self-help side?
Okay, self-help. Last. So let me just bring up this slide deck. Service House, I think that was one of the, I've worked in other, briefly in other clouds, public clouds like before, but comparing to the native capabilities to alert on the backend service outage or health or proactive improvements activities like planned outages, planned changes. Azure is probably one of the best out of the other two, out of the three. So what Service House is, that it's out-of-the-box capability that, you know, it only takes you, if you configure in the portal, it literally takes you just a few clicks to enable that. So it's tailored for your environment. So for example, if you have a resources deployed to a certain Azure region, and if that region has got issues, and then you'll get alerted, you'll get an email alert similar to this one. So with Service House, it not only does that communicate to you when there's an outage. For example, like this is a sample Service House alerts when the outage has taken place, and you get notified. But Microsoft also use that to notify customers when there's a proactive maintenance, and there or some other type of communication related to Azure resources. For example, a few months ago, there was a potential security-related issue where Microsoft's one of the databases for Microsoft that contained that customer support data was being briefly made accessible from the internet, although nothing has indicated there was actually any there was any breach. But Microsoft actually used Service House to communicate that potential risk to the customer using Service House alerts. So comparing to other service providers, I might be wrong on this, but last time I've checked, for example, AWS and GCP, they use a feed. So you have to subscribe to that feed to get health alerts of their products. So by doing that, it's not the information you get is not tailored for your environment. It's very generic, applies to all the customers. And although Microsoft also has a RSS feed for Azure Service Health, but Service Health alerts is something that, you know, extend and beyond. So that's something that I think is made it to stand out in this particular aspect.
I think you're right. I think the Service Health now improve a lot in the last few months, and become that service where they pretty much customize and for each customer. It's not like a generic theme for the whole Azure. Service Health as it used to be at the beginning. Now it's something that you can really, rely and trust to let you know what's going on, and be proactive, be
that's right,
like regular maintenance and all these things, and the customers are really happy with that.
Yep. So to access Service House in Azure Monitor, you just go to Service House. You see all the the current or the past issues. But you can also just create a Service Health alert. And again, it's really simple. You pick whatever you want to be alerted on, and everything, right? And all the regions, and choose a resource group to store your this Service Health alert, and select the action group. Basically an email address, and done. So that's all to create a Service House alert. Really straightforward. I recommend you for all the ones that haven't used this before. I recommend you take a look. Just maybe create a distribution list in your email system, and create a Service House alerts. So that's what I've done in the past. And you find that more and more, like not only the cloud teams but also the customers, your customers or the application teams will be interested in this type of outages, because they can potentially impact their applications. So
I think
Yeah, all you need to do is just add them into the distribution list so they get these notifications.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, some customers, people used to say, I'm not getting notified when, Microsoft is doing some maintenance or planned maintenance.
Yeah.
Now you have all the power. Just go, like you said.
Yeah.
You have to go here and,
Yeah, this is probably should be the first thing you do when you spin up your Azure environment, just to create a service house alert so you get notified.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's all I have to show for today.
That's great. Thanks, Tao. Fernando, do you have any question that you saw the workbooks and this health alerts?
Oh, I saw. I think I have to migrate my workloads to this Microsoft solution because now I think since from the last 2 years, this has advanced a lot. Now it's too easy to use and it's very easy to alter the workbooks.
Yep.
It is.
Thanks for showing it, Tao.
Yeah, you're welcome. So before we go, I just want to also mention that there is a free ebook that some of us got together and have been keep updating every year or two. It's called Inside Azure Management, and now it's on the 4th edition now. So if you go to my blog, you will see a link to the book. So it's a free ebook, but you can download your free copy, and all the Azure Monitor stuff, everything I've covered here is covered in great details in this book. So if you want to go further and learn a bit more about Azure Monitor, this is a great resource. You should check it out.
It is, Tao. It is a great book, and Inside Azure Management, and how many pages? I think there is like 600 or 700 pages there.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
It's an amazing resource, if you want to learn and even prepare yourself for Microsoft certifications as well.
Yep.
And there is a YouTube channel for the Azure Inside Azure Management. I even did a talk myself about AKS, like Tao said before, and there are a lot of talks there as well.
Yeah,
great content for certification as well.
Yeah, so for this book, if you talk about Azure Monitor, there are a couple of great MVP that focus on this area, like Kevin Green and Stanislav. They're the two people I think they covered most of the monitoring space in this book. So it's a really, really great book to go check it out. I'm saying this because I didn't write any of those chapters, but yeah, it's a really great resource to have a look.
Thank you a lot, Tao, and hopefully we're going to record another video soon. Thank you, Fernando, and subscribe to YouTube channel and follow us to get the new videos and from this series that we're going to record probably very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.